Something about what is a dimension of culture and how come the number of dimensions in your model has changed?
Well, a dimension of culture is a way of unpackaging the concept of culture. Culture, of course, is just an imaginary thing. It is a product of our imagination, which is supposed to be useful to understand the world and to be able to predict certain things in society. But as long as culture is, let's say, a holistic concept, it is rather difficult to make any predictions because it involves so much. So what the dimensions are ways of unpackaging this holistic concept of culture into particular parts which have much clearer relationship to phenomena in society. And originally I found 4. The fact that we find more and more is not surprising because more and more people are collecting data and they are reaching areas from which in the beginning we had no information.
In the 21st century, the opportunities and challenges of cross-cultural communication are an important dimension of everyday life.
Cross-cultural communication is it's extremely important in today's society. We increasingly find ourselves amongst people who are different from us, people from different backgrounds, different cultures, and oftentimes when we look at accomplishing daily tasks that we need to, cross-cultural understanding may mean the success or failure of being able to fulfill those.
So how and why do communication styles differ from culture to culture? There are 2 primary forms of socialization. Primary socialization is the process whereby people learn the attitudes, values, and actions appropriate to individuals as members of a particular culture. Anticipatory socialization refers to the processes of socialization in which a person rehearses for future positions, occupations, and social relationships. One of the universal dimensions of culture is time. It's been said that we all live time just a little bit differently. Monochronic time and polychronic time are 2 broad categories of time distinctions.
When people say that everybody lives time just a little bit differently, what they mean is simply that different people from different cultures conceive of time in different ways, and often it's not something we think about, but it's expressed in our everyday routines, from work to how we interact with other people. Some people adhere to what we call clock time, where everything is scheduled and we have to be at certain places at a particular time, and it's important to adhere to that. While other people see maintaining relationships as more important than keeping a tight schedule. This area of time difference is often a source of misunderstanding when 2 people are operating on 2 different conceptualizations. So sometimes when someone doesn't show up on time, we may think that they're not valuing our time or that we take it personally, when they simply may be operating from a different framework.
Regardless of whether messages are direct or indirect, effective communication depends on recognizing and acknowledging power.
In thinking about the notion of authority and status in different cultures, it's important to recognize that what's valued in U.S. culture might not be the same in other cultures.
Asian people cannot drive.
All Indian people are doctors.
Native Americans are casino-loving alcoholics.
These kinds of stereotypes and the prejudices they support are major barriers to cross-cultural understanding.
Stereotypes and prejudices are often used interchangeably, but they're a little bit different. Stereotypes are simply ways that we expect people to act or to be in certain situations. So we think certain people that are a member of a particular group will act in a particular way.
I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. Hey, hey.
It's a big world, full of difference and diversity. How you see others is influenced by your own cultural perspective, and how others see you is influenced by their cultural perspective. What happens when you speak? Do people from other cultures understand you in the way you intended? And what happens with different cultures in the workplace? How rigid or flexible is their approach to rules? Is formal or informal behaviour expected? And how do different cultures approach timekeeping? In today's global business environment, it is essential to learn how to navigate across different cultural landscapes. You need a good set of tools to do this. You need an understanding of how different cultures trade and do business, an insight into how different cultures communicate, and a clear idea of how different cultures manage people. To be a savvy global traveller, you need to be willing to undertake the journey of understanding other cultures. Develop cultural intelligence so you can communicate confidently across cultures.
And I can't believe forever it seemed to live out these dreams. When you start to think about taking a chance, you can't give a damn. I'm a hopeless romantic, fell in love with a similar idea, with a little bit of luck and a whole lot of work. I can make every one of these bitches good. So we don't care what the people say, and we don't care what they wanna do, and we don't care about it anymore. We do what we want. I ain't wasting no more time. It's now or never. I'm about to get mine. It's now or never. I'm about to get mine. It's now.